Hello, I'm Professor Rad, and today we're going to use our calculator to add signed numbers. Now, scientific calculators will add positive and negative numbers for you. You just want to make sure you're typing them into the calculator properly. So we're going to do a couple of examples to make sure we're comfortable with that. In this video, I'm going to be using the TI-36X Pro. Most scientific calculators work, the same way. So sorry. But some calculators work a little bit differently. I don't have any of those with me at the moment, but I'll kind of explain what to look for if your calculator doesn't do what this one does. So I'm going to move it up so we can see all the keys, and we're going to use our calculator to find 6 plus negative 10. Now there are two ways you can enter this into your calculator. You could use the parentheses, but you don't need to. So I'm going to do both ways just so we can check that. So on this calculator, the negative sign is down here close to the equals or the enter. So the negative sign has these like parentheses around it. I've got a couple extras calculators here with me that have basically the same button. So this is a Casio, and its negative key is up here. So see, it looks the same. It's a minus sign inside parentheses. So some calculators, you might see a button that's got like a plus/minus on it. So what you want to check first to see if your calculator is going to work like this one is press the negative key and see what happens. So this calculator pressed a minus. If your calculator did nothing, what that means is when you enter in a negative number, you'll have to put the number first and then press the plus/minus key. On this calculator, we can press the negative key first to get a negative number. So let's go ahead and add 6 plus negative 10. So I'm going to do 6 plus, and on this calculator to enter negative 10, I'm going to do the negative key and then type in 10, and I get negative 4. Now I typed this in without the parentheses. If you're nervous, you can always enter those parentheses in. So 6 plus, and then in parentheses, negative 10. And we get the same answer. Now it's important to use the negative button because sometimes your calculator might cause an error if you try to use the subtraction key. So let's see what this one does. So I have 6 plus subtraction 10. And this calculator says syntax error. When your calculator says syntax error, what syntax is for a computer is it's like the code or the language basically. So if you see this come up on a calculator, it means you typed something in wrong. It can't understand what you typed in. So this calculator doesn't understand that subtraction button that you intend for it to be a negative. Let's see what that Casio does if it gives us the same kind of error. So let's do 6 plus subtraction 10 equals. So the Casio is like, hey bro, I know what you meant here. I knew you meant negative 10, so I'll give you a negative 4. So the coding on the different calculators is different. This one allows you to do that. So since this one let us do that, let's go ahead and try that for this next one, negative 6 plus 4. So I'm going to type in negative 6 plus 4 and hit equals, and it tells me negative 6. Let's see what happens now if I use the negative key on this calculator and see if it also gives me negative 6. So negative 6 plus 4 equals, now it's telling me negative 2. So on this calculator, when I used the negative key versus the subtraction button, I got different answers. So it looks like if I type in subtraction 6 plus 4, it's going to give me, this time it gave me negative 4. Before, seriously, it gave me negative 6, right? So now it's giving me negative 4. So what is going on? Well, notice when I typed in the subtraction 6 plus 4, it put ANS here. So ANS on a calculator is your calculator's previous answer. So this calculator, when you type an operation in, like when I type in this operation of the subtraction, it thinks you want to subtract that from whatever you got before. So that's another reason that why, even though this calculator added 6 plus subtraction 10, using subtraction is dangerous on a calculator because your calculator can interpret it differently than how you intend. So even though it worked okay here, it broke here. The correct answer is using your negative button. So if I want to find negative 6 plus 4, I want to use the negative button in front of the 6 instead of the subtraction. You want to avoid subtracting. Well, until you need to subtract. But if we're entering a negative number in, you want to make sure you enter it using that negative sign. So, I've got a few problems down here that you can try on your own. Use your calculator to see if you can get each of these sums. In the next video, we're now going to look at undoing addition. We're going to look at subtracting signed numbers, and we're going to take a similar approach to how we approached addition. So we're going to think about it in terms of number lines, money, and shapes or colors doing battle, and then we'll come up with a rule for it. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you for subtraction. Bye, everybody.